Good morning, y'all. Today is September 23rd, day of the farm party. Slept in a little bit, just wanted to make sure well rested for the day. It's almost 10 o'clock. I wanted to get everything going by 10 o'clock. Gonna run over to my parents, get this chicken over there, some more food. Also load up a few things from there, and then head out to the farm, start doing some last minute things. My to-do list is a mile long, but it's kind of just the little sparkle stuff on top. So if it doesn't get done, it's not the end of the world. But I think I'll have plenty of time. So anyways, gonna get to it. All right, y'all, let's start the morning off with some chicken chores. I put up a couple signs yesterday. This one's just saying, watch your step, chickens like making holes. Put a little motion sensor light on it. That way when it's dark and people are walking back in the woodsy section for the fire, they will remember, even though you can't see them at night. Also did some cool little things on the back of the chicken coop. And this is for the chickens, some worms and garden produce that didn't make the cut. So they're gonna enjoy that. But let me show you what I did back here. Got some tiki torches all along the path. But for the coops, I put what they are, egg color, how old they are, just for some fun facts for some people. Also, I'm doing a scavenger hunt all around the farm, so certain things will come in handy. This is just one of them. I also have one on the beehive and just kind of around the farm in general. But for now, gonna go ahead, get the chickens done. Chicken chores are kind of weird today because I'm actually gonna be moving those coops about 3 times, maybe 4. Just so people can get more straight shot at the path out there and don't have to walk around a chicken net. So I didn't fill up their food or anything. They still had plenty from yesterday. So I'll give them a couple hours to mow that grass down and then move them again. It is exactly 1 hour now until the party starts. Feeling pretty good about everything. Got the scavenger hunt stuff set up. There wasn't too terribly much to do for that, thankfully. Chickens are all good. I moved the coops a good, 30 or more feet, just to get them out of the way a little bit more. And yeah, things are looking good. Gotta run and get some ice. Better than that, people will be showing up here soon. What a great turnout, a perfect evening. I absolutely had a blast. I hope everybody that came out had a great time as well. Couldn't have been a more perfect evening. Even saw the Starlinks coming over. Everything was just picture perfect. So thank you everyone for coming out. Stay tuned for next year. Howdy y'all, today is September 24th. It's actually 1 a.m. so it's just kind of ticked over to the 24th. Farm party is still going on, but it's definitely winded down. At this point, I think I just have a few cousins here hanging out. I'm working on this chicken net and I can't see anything. I've got a little bit tangled up, but I had it open for the party so that way people could walk around and see the chickens. But definitely want to get that back up so no raccoons come in and gnaw on any chickens tonight. Not too terribly worried about it because there's been a lot of commotion. But anyways, going to finish this up and then I'm just gonna clean up everything in the morning. All right, that chicken net is up good enough for not being able to see. I struggle with that thing in the daylight, let alone at night. But right now, just blowing out all the tiki torches. It was a perfect evening. It couldn't have gone any better. But tomorrow is going to be a full day. Got a lot of really cool things. I haven't even looked at all the farm warming gifts yet, but I'm super excited to look at all that. I'll probably just do that tomorrow. Saw some really cool plants coming in, so thank you to everyone. I'm really looking forward to checking everything out. But I'm gonna blow these torches out real quick. There's only a couple more. They're kind of burning out already. Not too bad. This one's just about done anyways. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the scavenger hunt answers, and I'm gonna do a separate video on that probably. I'm not exactly sure yet, but a lot of people had fun with that. I'll show you guys some more of that tomorrow. Well, I guess it is tomorrow, but in a few hours I'll show you some more. Good morning, y'all. It was kind of a late night last night, but things turned out great. I think I finally got to bed around 3 or so. So it's pretty late. It's about 9 o'clock right now. I'm gonna start cleaning things up. There's a lot of bottles and trash, and it was kind of dark so people couldn't see everything. So I gotta pick all that up. I also want to pick up all the straw bales, that way it doesn't kill the grass. I got these big Jenga things here, cornhole back there. Gotta pick up the tent, get the wagons all together. So there'll be a little bit of cleanup today, but I think the highlight of the party was this farm warming scavenger hunt that I put together. And I know people are dying for the answers on this, so I just want to go through them and show you guys where some of them were. Question number 7, I might have lost some friends on. People were really struggling with this question. But surprisingly, 61% of people found the answer. But majority of the party, people were like, I cannot find this, Macy. Try and just give me a clue. But here's the question. A hen flew the coop and started laying eggs somewhere on the farm. Macy can't find the nest and needs your help. Where did you find the nest? So it's actually right behind me. Let me show you. So if you walk the perimeter of the farm, you would have found it. It's glaringly obvious, but you have to walk right up on it. I didn't pick it up last night, so hopefully a raccoon didn't get a hold of everything. No, perfect. So that was the nest. A lot of people were figuring out that I was writing a bunch of trick questions, and number 10 was no different. So only 23% of people got this one right. So I fooled a lot of y'all. So this one is, besides selling eggs, Macy also sells garden produce. She planted over 200 tomato plants. How many rows in the garden have tomato plants? So on the surface, this question seemed rather easy. If you look, there's a row of tomatoes, here's a row of tomatoes, there's 2 rows, here's 3 rows, 4, 5. Gotta go up front toward the road here. 5, here's 6, and no tomatoes. and 7. So a lot of people put 7 as the answer to that one. Well, if you take a walk down that row that didn't look like it had any tomatoes in it, it actually does. So here's the tomato in the row. So it is all 8 rows have tomatoes in them. So number 12 here, only 7% of people got right. This was kind of a tough one. So it says, did you know today is the first day of fall? Nothing says fall on a farm quite like straw bales. How many straw bales are on the farm? Seems like a simple question, right? Well, not quite. Let me show you why. So around both fire pits, I had some bales sitting out, straw bales, this fire pit and the back fire pit out there. Up front, I also had a couple straw bales, but I had to throw in one surprise. This is a hay bale sitting there, so you can tell it's a little smaller than the other bales, a little different color, a little finer, not as thick as a straw bale. So I kind of threw that one in there as a trick. But I think what was getting a lot of people was in the garden. I have those hay bales that I never got around to spreading. So they're just sitting in some of the garden rows. So people were going up and down the garden, counting all those on top of the straw bales. I did have to clarify this question just a little bit for a couple people. And it was out back. I have just a mound of those hay bales that I threw out there. And I did clarify that those were at least hay bales for them, just to help them out. But you can see I've got a straw bale sitting there, and then a couple more over there. So I think that was starting to throw people off too. So that was a pretty good one. You just had to know the difference between hay and straw on that, and then just start counting. But the answer was 16. And last but not least, number 15, 92% of people got right. And it is, what 3 social media platforms can you find the farm on? And that is Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Most people got that one right. I had that one on some cards sitting in the barn. A lot of people, it was family and friends, so I think they already knew or followed. So it's kind of an easy question for most, but it threw a few people off. So that was it on the questions. I did have one tiebreaker. So in the event that someone miraculously got every single one of these answered right, which by the way, nobody did, that was kind of part of the fun, to make it hard enough where it would just be really hard to get all those right. The tiebreaker was, when did I start farming? And there were some crazy answers on that, but one person actually guessed just one day off. But the day that I started farming, that I consider the first day I became a farmer, was May 14th, 2016. So I did some farming things before that, like chicken slaughters and everything, but I actually officially became a farmer, like that was my title, was May 14th, 2016. So that was the tiebreaker, and honestly, there was a 4-way tie for first, and the tiebreaker sealed the deal on that. So the winners are Seth and Kyle. Congratulations to you guys. You guys did really good. So the prize for that, since you guys did it together, you're gonna have to split it, is a month's supply of eggs, as well as farm goods from the garden, which I'll get ready and can be whatever you guys want. And since it was a farm warming party, I gave people the option, if they wanted to bring flowers, plants, seeds of any sort to plant on the farm, they could do that, because that would be awesome. Because I want to take this front part here and turn it into some sort of pretty flower garden thing, and anything that'll help the bees, because they just really struggled out here, because all they have is clover. I want to give them a little bit more variety. So these are grapes right here. Some of y'all I might have to call, and y'all can remind me of what some of these are, but I know those are grapes. This right here is a peach tree, and there's some really cool significance behind that. These, I want to say those were some sort of berry. I have several of those, have some grasses. These over here are persimmons. And let's see, someone gave me this garden flag here. So I'm kind of in the shadow so you can see it all right. Got some lilies. Some people brought me some produce. Man, look at this squash. Did better than mine. There's a lot of cool stuff in there though. Those are the lilies. Got some gloves, some little garden things in there. Well, y'all, I didn't get too much picking up earlier today on the farm from the party. I'm actually just about to start on some chores. Gonna do the chicks first. They're nice and simple. They're all snugged up in there. But anyways, I had a concert midday, so I had to take off, do that. But now I'm back. I don't know if we'll have enough daylight to do much planting today, so that might happen tomorrow. It's about 6:30 at this point. It's crazy how much that sun is just dropping. We've lost, I think, over an hour of daylight already. Howdy y'all, today is September 25th. Out in the Americana coop at the moment, grabbing some eggs. Got one of the new ones sitting in the nesting box. So that's pretty cool to see. I knew that they've started laying, but I hadn't actually seen any in the box yet. Howdy y'all, today is September 25th. I've been sitting here watching the chickens for a little while, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and let the pearl whites out just to see what happens. I'm gonna be here till dark anyway, and I'll kind of keep an eye on them. Mostly just worried about hawks, because those things are relentless. I mean, I've seen a hawk swoop down and attack a chicken from, you know, where I'm standing currently into the chicken coop, so we'll see how it goes. I'm not too worried. Haven't seen many lately, but I'll just keep an eye on them. You guys are always wanting out. There you go. Got Red Ryder out first. He's been doing pretty good, so I'm not worried about him going back up at night. You guys are being good staying in though. Give you credit for that. All the other chickens are piled up on the corners wondering what's going on. I've always wanted to let them out, but just haven't. Mostly because I'm always so busy doing other things, I'm not keeping a great eye on them. The electric net makes me feel good for anything running up on them, but it's just those aerial predators. Red Ryder is loving his freedom. He is chasing all the girls around until Rusty finds him. Then he gets kicked out. So he doesn't get any girlfriends with Rusty around, so he's really happy out running around with the ones that are out. There's maybe only 3 chickens out. Most of them are just hanging out in the coop. They're not too interested in coming out. One of the farm warming gifts I got was this lavender phlox. These things are gorgeous. Cut them off, but they'll come back just fine. These are just gorgeous flowers. Bees love them. So I wanted to go ahead and get this planted today. Got it all planted. So this stuff gets really tall and it spreads and it is just absolutely gorgeous. So I put that semi in the middle. Eventually I want this whole front section to turn into a massive flower garden. So I'll put the smaller stuff on the outside, larger stuff in the middle. But I really love this stuff. I got this from my Aunt Kim, so thank you so much for this. Looks like the chickens are still doing good out there. There's maybe 5 in the coop that I can see, but looks like everyone else has finally made their way out. So this was my patch of cucumbers, and they are definitely dead, definitely done for the year. I actually have one I planted wrong in with squash that's doing decent, but it's about done too. So I'm gonna go ahead and take up this weed cloth, mow everything down. That weed cloth came up nice and easy, and all the holes were saved on it. Just going through and picking up some of the last little things in here to feed to the chickens, and then I'll start mulching this up. And the cucumbers are gone. So I did find out that the 3 plants in the pots there are black raspberries. And then I just got the grapes in, so that's pretty nice. I got these 4 from the Reynolds family. It's currently 7:49 and it looks like all the chickens went back up. You chickens have fun today? So I got 5 plants planted today. I also watered everything in the garden. It's been pretty dry. We're supposed to get some rain later in the week, fingers crossed. Now it's kind of dark enough to start thinking about checking for some hornworms. I haven't done that in a little while. So far they've looked pretty good though, but I've definitely found a couple here and there. They're still out. This is the second one I've found. Only found 2 tonight, so not too bad. Howdy out, today is September 26th, and I feel like it's been a little while since I've got into this hive behind me here. It's the new one that I got maybe a month ago at this point, so I'm gonna crack it open, make sure they're doing all right, dust everyone with powdered sugar, and put them back together. This hive is looking pretty good. They're starting to build out some new comb in these outer frames because these were completely blank. I had 3 completely blanks, and then the others were from the other hive, so they had a head start. But saw some brood, eggs, larvae, and they're packing in some nectar, lots of pollen, so they're looking good. We're about to get some thunderstorms rolling through here soon, kind of off and on for the rest of the evening and overnight. But I have about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and at least get in this beehive. If the weather's looking decent, I'll go ahead and get in the white hive as well. But this time of year, the males, which are called drones, the females are actually kicking them out. So they will find them in the hive, push them out. Sometimes they'll even kill them just to get them out. The bees don't, or the colony doesn't really need drones in the wintertime. All they do is lay around and eat up the honey stores, which they can't afford. So females kick them out, and then come springtime, they'll start making more male bees. The mixed hive looked great. I am thoroughly impressed by the number of bees in there. I did see one drone. I didn't comb through anything. It was just powdered sugar, really quick in and out. I have about 15 minutes until this thunderstorm rolls through, so I'm gonna go ahead, hop in the white hive. I think I'll have plenty of time. Man, these hives smell so good when you open them up. Check out this propolis. It's super bright red, almost looks like blood. Propolis is basically the bees' version of super glue, and it is tough stuff. They've got that packed in there really good. Super sticky. That's just moving one box off the other. And that hive is all good. Just a quick sugar shake on them. Their population looks a little better this week. I think it was 2 weeks ago. They looked a little thin, but they're a lot better this week. So it feels good to have all 3 beehives checked and sugar shaked today. So no rain yet, but let's go ahead and head out to the larger farm property now. Well, y'all, no rain yet, but no doubt the storm is right here. I'm seeing a lot of lightning, a lot of wind, so I'm gonna hold off on chicken chores for a while, hang out in the barn. I've got plenty to do in there, so no worries. I actually had just enough time to cover up some straw bales with the tarp. There's still a few straw bales out, but just gonna leave them at this point. Actually managed to get all the bales in literally 30 seconds before it started downpouring, so that's a good feeling. That was 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 bales, so that feels good. And got all the ones out there covered up. Definitely waiting on chicken chores because that'll take a little bit of time, but for now just gonna wait for this storm to blow through and then head out and get some work done. Well, y'all, the storm is past. It's still lightly raining, but nothing terrible. Sky's opening up. Turned out to be another beautiful evening. It cooled off considerably, that's for sure. But go ahead and get these chickens done. It rained for a solid hour, just a little over. So we really needed it because this pasture was pretty dry. Howdy y'all, today is September 28th. I'm gonna let out probably the Americanas today. I made a really chintzy ramp because I don't really know if this is the right size or what's gonna work. So just made it real quick, open the door, and we'll see what they do. You know, surprisingly, that is not too bad for no measurements. That's a bit steep, but if they want to come out, then come on out. I think it'll also help opening up this nesting box for them too. That back door to the nesting boxes is kind of flimsy, so I'm going to take a board and prop it up on there. Had a few chickens walking around on it, but for the most part, they're not too interested. I didn't pull their coop forward just to incentivize them a little bit more, but so far, no takers. All right, got the door propped open a little better for them. Actually, I scared them. They were all freaking out, but there are a couple that are actually out. Where they went, I don't know, but they're inside the net. I know that much, so there's a couple out. We'll see if any more come out. I also have this pumpkin over here. I threw it and smashed it. I have so many pumpkins. I'm gonna go ahead and feed this one to the pearl whites. good chunk of the Americanas are out roaming around now. There's maybe, I don't know, 8 still in the coop that haven't quite figured it out yet, but they're having a ton of fun running around, stretching their wings. I have several small pumpkins laying around, so go ahead and feed the chickens a few of them. And speaking of pumpkins, I finally have one that is all done. So let's go ahead and pick it. It is absolutely perfect. Cute little pumpkin. The sun is just about to dip below the horizon there. It's about 7:28. When I let the pearl whites out the other day, they were all up by 7:39. So maybe another 10 minutes for the Americanas and they'll be up. They're all trying to figure it out. They'll get it though. Most all the chickens have found their way up. It's about 7:45. There's maybe 4 that haven't. But check out that moon, you guys. It's absolutely gorgeous. 2 chickens left. It's about 7:52, so they're figuring it out, but they're pretty slow. A lot of them are hopping up on the nesting box. A lot can't figure the ramp out because they walk right underneath it. So here comes one now. See if she figures it out. Nope, she's gone underneath it. And we're down to the last chicken. I'm pretty sure she's been up before. She just keeps popping back down. She's gonna hop back up over there, I think. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna walk around and make sure I got all of them because they were taking a little while to figure that one out. Just a smidge before 8 and all the chickens are up. They all went up on their own. Just took them a little longer than the pearl whites to figure it out. But I think that's mostly just the coop design because they actually have to fly up just a little bit instead of just walk into the coop. But everybody's good. It looks like a full moon tonight. I'm not exactly sure if it really is or not, but it is beautiful out. Today is September 29th. Trying the speckled Sussex out today. See how they do running around. Had one chicken get out. Thankfully she's following me back though. You know, I generally enjoy picking all these smaller tomatoes, like the yellow pears and cherries and whatnot. We got so much rain this week that the tomatoes are just all splitting, so it's kind of frustrating. I still want to pick them so they just don't go bad on the plant, at least feed them to the chickens, but kind of annoying. There's a ton of them too. I think if anything next year I'll probably do less of the smaller tomatoes just because it is really time consuming picking all of them. Some days I don't mind it. It's just frustrating because every single one of them has a split in it today. But it does take a lot of time picking those. I'll definitely still do some cherries. I didn't like how my cherries turned out this year. This second row, the closest one to me. All my cherries I bought from the store and they just about look the same as the day I bought them from the store. So lesson learned, do not buy them from the store. It's not worth it. Every single one that I started from seed looks phenomenal and actually grew and looks really nice. So lesson learned, but I didn't have my cherries do very good, the ones that I planted myself. So that's why I went ahead and bought those from the store and very unimpressed with those. So maybe next year on the cherries. Finally done picking those yellow pears. I might be able to salvage 10% of that, but pretty much everything in there is split. Chicken, what are you doing out here? Gonna have to name you Houdini too. Better come on. Chicken. Come on, chicken. I don't have a bucket this time, so it might not be as easy. Just watching that sunset. We are getting on 8 o'clock. I saw one chicken running around, so not everybody's up. So I'm gonna go check and make sure they can figure it out. So we actually have one hen. She's a little confused. This is not her coop. So you gotta go over to the right. A couple coops. Over to the right. Go on. I might wind up having to grab her. And then I think there's one rooster out. Yeah, one rooster. So only two. That's not too bad. It looks like everybody else made it up all right. Rooster is up. He walked right into my arms. That was nice and simple. Now I gotta get this one lost lady over here trying to get into Pearl White coop. I'm not a fan of picking up the chickens and throwing them in the coop. I like them going in on their own. That way they actually figure it out for themselves. Sometimes it takes them a couple times, but eventually they'll get it. So for the speckled Sussex, 2 out wasn't too terrible.